Well, Aidan, cheers for your time. I know you'd have wanted a game, but you had a week off. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I think it was a good little reset. I think we're 10 rounds in now, so it's good to, I guess, freshen the bodies up, debrief where we're at in the season, and obviously look forward now to what is an important block.
Could you bring yourself to watch the Challenge Cup weekend?
Yeah, you always, I guess most of us boys, we're fans before we're players, and you always like to enjoy a game of footy. And I did get around and watch it. Obviously, envious of the players taking part, but something to look to obviously aim at for next year.
I was going to say, does that provide that extra motivation, that extra driver for taking it further and succeeding?
Yeah, it always does. You always, I guess, ambitious, and we're no different. It's done now, and we look forward to the opportunity next year. But we've still got a lot of footy to be played this year, and I just want to improve week in.
Given how you'd gone into the break, did it come at a good time, maybe? A reset?
Oh, look, we're a few bodies down, and we had a big block before that, but obviously we went up to Magic. We didn't perform well, and it was a tough week. We debriefed that game and how we can improve, and we let ourselves down in a lot of areas, but we've prepped well this week, and hopefully we can take into good performance on Friday.
How do you reflect on those recent performances then? What's the debrief been like?
Been tough. I think the one that stands out for me is probably our discipline. We need to work on, most games we're on the wrong end of the penalty count, or we're letting ourselves down with getting yellow cards and red cards and things like that. And you can't win games. You can't be a consistent footy team when you're letting yourself down in that regard. So, obviously there's a lot of our footy we need to improve in terms of our play, but being disciplined and giving ourselves the best chance to win footy games is the most important thing. As
the leader of the team, how much did that frustrate you as well?
Yeah, it's super frustrating, and I think the older boys in our team need to, especially me, take some accountability of that. We're, I guess, a mirror image of the team and that discipline, and that's one of the massive points where we can improve. And going down to 12 in 11 in this competition, it's too hard to I guess yield results. So we need to improve in that area, and hopefully we can do that from here on in.
Take me into your mindset at Magic. You've just had the conversation with the referee. He says, settle it down, nothing more like that. And then Liam, seconds later, what are you thinking at that point?
Oh, it's hard to, I guess, talk about now. We've looked into it, and he had no repercussions after it. We've received the red card, and he hasn't got suspended or anything after it. So I don't think there was too much in it to warrant a red card. It didn't look good initially, but yeah, it is what it is now. The result's gone. But that's one thing we can control, and getting that right next time around.
I was talking to John about this, about that consistency, or at least trying to find as close to consistency as you can get with decisions like that, where a lot of it's about interpretation as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel it can be handled?
Oh, look, there's a lot of emotion riding on it. I guess the officials are human at the end of the day, and they're gonna I guess call what they see or what they're feeling in the game, and we need to understand that. We need to understand that sometimes we can get the wrong call. We can receive a call that's probably not correct at the time. But it's about controlling what we can control, and that's been a lot more disciplined than what we have been.
John was asked, though, when you use the word discipline, he was asked sort of just a few minutes ago about it's not just disciplines in terms of sin binnings, red cards, but discipline about how you go about a game. What do you learn from that as well?
Oh, for sure. I think replicating what we do at training. Sticking to a process, being disciplined in other aspects, definitely lead towards moments like that. But we need to get that right. We've addressed it, and as I said, looking forward now.
Yeah, what has John done to help you park it and move on then?
He's been pretty direct with it. It's obviously an area that's letting us down, and as I said, in this competition, you can't win footy games if you're down to 12 or 11 men against quality teams, and we're letting ourselves down. We're working hard during the week, putting all the bricks in place to perform well, but you sort of don't anticipate going down to 11 men for certain periods of the game, down to 12, for 40 minutes, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help you at all.
You had a little wry smile on your face there when you said he'd been quite direct, so I presume he's let everyone have it both barrels, had his say, and then you move on from it. Yeah,
that's Kade to a T. I've known him for a long time, and there's no way about it. There's no beating around the bush. We addressed it, and as I said, it's not about looking back 2 weeks now, it's about looking forward. We've got a very important block now, and it's we're taking confidence into that.
I'm going to look forward by looking back, though, more positive side of it.
Yep.
What do you take from the positive start that you made to the season?
I think we've banked a few wins. Obviously, the club had a lean year last year, so everyone is confident from that. But from my perspective, we're scratching the surface on how good we can be as a team. We haven't performed for 80 minutes, I don't think, most of the year, and we're still working towards that. We've still got a very young team, a team in its infancy, not in terms of age, but how long we've been together, and I guess understanding each other's gameplay. So it's about, I guess, getting it right, over this sort of middle block of the year and leading into the back end. So, hopefully we can get a few more bodies back. We can get the discipline right and gives ourselves a chance to win footy games.
You mentioned about what's gone before with this club. Does it help that you don't carry the baggage of what's gone in previous seasons and some of the other players come in not having that same baggage on the shoulders? Yeah,
for sure. I think you can't, in any walk of life, you can't live in the past. It's about what's ahead of you and what you can control, and what's happened. Even a couple of weeks ago at Magic, I know we alluded to it a few times, but that's done now. It's about taking lessons from what's happened and moving forward, and that's the mentality we've got as a team.
How much have you enjoyed it personally since coming in?
Yeah, I've loved it. I was just speaking to a staff member in there, and I've loved my time ever since I walked through the doors. I feel a real connection with this club. It's a club with great people, great fans, and I'm enjoying my time so far. Obviously, it's still early in the piece, but I'm really enjoying it.
How do you feel you've played?
I feel I've performed well in some areas, but I let myself down in other areas as well. So it's not about me personally; it's about the team and bringing my best asset to the team. I believe if we all do that as a collective, we can win footy games.
But you've got to be happy with yourself to contribute to the team, haven't you? What's pleased you the most then, and what haven't you been happy with?
It's a broad question. You can never be happy in this game. You'll be humbled week in, week out otherwise. And I guess you're seeing that at Magic. We get it too far ahead of yourselves, and you never, at times, things are never as good as what you think, and things are never as bad as it seems. So it's about week to week, and I guess getting back to basics and training well, prepping well each week, and hopefully that leads to a good performance.
How's that link up going with Kade?
Yeah, Custy's been good. I guess we really complement each other with how we are as people. He's a really exciting player, more laid back and composed, sort of older head, and he's been great for us. He's a real team player, and he's been playing really well for us.
Are you challenging each other and pushing each other at times?
Yeah, we always do. We always have chats as a spine. I guess me, Custy, and me, Pricey coming in, and a few of the boys around that. Always bouncing ideas off each other, and obviously understanding what works best for each other, and trying to implement that in our team. So it's never about even individual. It's about what's best for our team, and that's the mentality we got across the club.
You mentioned Will there. I spoke to you. I think last time I spoke to you was the Challenge Cup press conference where literally he was flying in and getting ready. You've seen him now a bit since then. What's he been like in the weeks that he's been here?
Yeah, he's been good, Pricey. He's got a lot of experience for a young kid, and he's been around the game a long time, so he understands the game. And he's a great personality to have in our club. And for him, he's got loads of potential, and it's about us doing the best we can as a team to getting towards his best footy.
As you said, it's about a team thing, but is he that kind of player that if you're on the opposition, you know what he can do to damage you? It makes you think that little bit more about what he can do.
Yeah, for sure. He's got, as I said, loads of potential and loads of talent, and we've seen what he can do. He's very early on in his career, and it's about us, I guess, nurturing him and him finding his way in his career and becoming the player he can become, and we all believe he can become.
What's Amir been like as well to play with?
I think he's been one of our best performers this year. He probably don't get the accolades he deserves, but when you stood next to him, you've seen how hard he works for his teammates and the efforts he puts in in consecutive weeks. He's been awesome for us, and he's one of them blokes you want to play beside, and I think he's been one of our best players. Yeah.
More broadly, the progression was what this team needed given what's gone before, but did the start you make or the start that you made show that you can be a top 6 side this season?
I think so. That's always the goal. We're not here to make up the numbers or take part in any way. We're here to win games, here to I guess get the club up the ladder and play in finals footy. I think I spoke about it at the start of the year. We've got a lot of older heads and we're knocking on now, and we want to be as successful as we can be on a selfish front. But yeah, in terms of the club, we want to get this club back up where it belongs, and that's challenging for Silverware.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the biggest challenge to maintaining it?
Controlling what we can control, preparing, building good standards in and around the club, and I guess as I said, controlling what we can control, and then puts you in the best shape to perform on the weekend.
You're coming up against an old club in Leeds. You had one season with them. How do you reflect on it?
2 seasons.
2 seasons, sorry.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
2 seasons.
It's a good time. I've still got a few good mates there. Made the grand final the first year. Second year probably didn't go to plan, but yeah, I enjoyed my time at the club.
Yeah. What was it like at that time? Because a team that, as you said, got to the grand final but hadn't won one since 2017, a team that's had a bit of sort of ups and downs during that time. What was the feeling like at that time?
In terms of the year, or
just in terms of being at Leeds as a club, given again the expectation and pressure on them to be a top side that should be.
It's probably a club that obviously comes with huge expectation, but I think with expectations, probably because you probably got a good squad and people expect you to do well. So for me it's probably about getting to the grand final. We didn't win it, but I look back on it with fond memories. It was a good experience. Yeah.
What are you expecting from the game itself?
They've been playing a hard style. They've been turning up and working for one another and really doing the basics well. So we know we need to go with them in that regard. And as I said, discipline, complete high, and give ourselves the best chance to play our footy.
From a personal point of view, though, how good would it be to get a win over them? You want to win all of them, but given they're a former side.
As you said, it's not about me or my personal, I guess, agenda. It's about the club wanting to win. It's always a good feeling putting on the club shirt and representing this club as a captain, and I want to go there and put in our best showing and get a result.
How do you feel you match up against them in some of the key areas on the field?
They're obviously strong. We got our strengths as well. And it's about going there and, as I said, being disciplined, doing ourselves favours and laying that platform to get a result.
What do you make of Jake Connor?
He's been great. He's always been a great player. I think that squad complements him this year. He was here before, and I've always rated Jake Connor pretty highly, and very smart player, very intelligent, and he's one of the keys. Obviously, we need to nullify to get a result.
I asked John this question about him because he likes to be that irritant of a player, doesn't he? And given everything we've spoken about with discipline, how do you shut yourselves out from the mind game aspect of it?
Yeah, don't buy into it. I think just worry about what we can control, and he's going to do what he's going to do. That's Jake Connor. He's a good player. He's a competitor, and that's what obviously gets the best out of him. But we're not going to worry about that.
Is that easier said than done in the heat of battle at Headingley?
Yeah, I think so. It always is. But the way we've been going about things and getting yellow cards and red cards, we can't buy into that anymore. We need to worry about playing our best and getting our game on and getting results for the club. All good. Cheers, mate.
Hey, Aidan.
Hey, bro.
Going back to John Carter, then, how does he get the best out of you? Because it's a link that goes way back to your NRL days. So is there any knacks or freedom or trust that he has with you that brings out the best in you as a player?
It's a good question. I think with Kade, I feel like he believes in me. I feel it helps me so much. I feel like whatever I want to do on the field, he backs me, and that's probably a big thing for me. Obviously, he knows me from when I was a young kid, and I signed for him when I was a young kid, and circa 14, 15 years, and we're back together now. But I just feel like he believes in me, and that gives me a lot of confidence.
It shows the rugby league rollercoaster, doesn't it? How you can turn up on one side of the world and be together, and now here you are in Hull, a decade or so later. So it's a crazy journey, rugby league.
It is, mate. It is, and I think that probably what I think about Kade is what a lot of the boys in the squad are the same. He's a loyal guy, and he believes in his players, and he's a coach that you want to play for and not let down. And when you let him down, you steer the other way and not get in his way. So no, I enjoy playing under him, mate. He's a great guy, and he's a great coach as well.
A few players have joked about the scary side of John, but there seems to be a lot of respect there as well, like a healthy combination of the two.
Yeah, for sure, mate. He's I guess he's got that aura about him, Johnny Cartwright. He's a achieve a lot in the game as a player and a coach. And any times he speaks with a bit of substance, you take it in. And he's got that scary side about him, which obviously all the boys respect as well.
A lot of times this year it's gone John Assie out with the ball to yourself and it's resulted in a Hull FC try, so that must be really pleasing that you've got a link with someone like that, because we all know what John Assie out and the player he is, but to have that understanding so early in your Hull FC career, that must really please you, because I'm guessing there's a lot more to come as well.
Yeah, hopefully there is, mate. I think Johnny's a smart player. He gets around the field good, and he's one of our leaders, and the more times he has his hands on the ball, the more effective we're going to be as a team. And it's about what I was speaking before, what's best for the team, and that's what's best for the team at the moment. So hopefully we can improve on what we've done so far, and I'm sure we will.
How much does it compose you and Kade knowing you've got that middle link there to perhaps get you wider and attacking the edges more?
Yeah, for sure. I think, as I said, he's a smart player, he's an experienced player. He's won trophies before. You trust players like that around you. So he's one of our leaders, he's our vice captain, and he's someone you sort of lean on in the big moments.
And Kate mentioned a couple of weeks back you had a hamstring injury, that's why Will Price took the tee, but obviously you've got the tee back now, so I'm guessing you're all good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. Yeah, it's just a scare getting on now, so got to look after the body a little bit.
Good stuff. Cheers, Aidan. All the best.
All good, mate. Cheers, lad. Thank you.
Hey, bro. Just the one from me. I mean, you spoke about pretty much every other teammate, but Lewis Martin, how impressed have you been with him? Obviously, you've had that partnership with him that seems to be quite fruitful. And how far, as a player, do you think he can go?
Yeah, obviously very young, and you don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he's got loads of potential. We've seen it, the opening 10 rounds, and we've struck up a little combination. He's a good finisher, and I think for me, with all the young boys, especially Lou, their application to their work, they want to be better. They're ambitious and they want to strive for higher things, and play their best they can for the club. And I think for me, it's being an older player. It's something it puts a spring in your step, and Lewis no different. He's been a good performer, and I think he's just scratching the surface as well.
Yeah, I'll just squeeze one more in. Same sort of question about David Litton as well. Obviously coming into the team, slotting into that centre spot well. And he's only looking up, isn't he? Yeah,
for sure. Davey's the same, loads of potential, and works really hard. Davey, he's a footy head, and I'm defending next to him, and he's a ball of energy as well. So, the club's in good hands with all these young kids, but it's about us looking after them and nurturing them the right way, and hopefully they get towards what they can be as a finished article.
Hi Aidan. You've said that the team's still in its infancy, and I suppose that's goes the same for the partnership you're forming with Kade Cust. Yeah. Do you think that there's more to come then from yourselves when you get going? Yeah,
for sure. 10 games into combinations and things like that. So there's, it's only early days in the scheme of things, but Custy's been great. As I said, he's a great teammate, and that goes a long way. And for me and him, it's about just continuing to build on the partnership we have, working out what works best and what doesn't, and there's the only ways up, and we've still got loads of improvement in all of us across the team.
And there's been a couple of occasions through disciplinary problems or injury that Kade hadn't been there. Yeah. Is it difficult for you to settle in to any sort of consistency yourself when your half-back partnership is being disrupted in that way?
I think the whole team has. We've had a fair few injuries. We've had players out being suspended. Combinations have been hard to sort of get any momentum behind. But control what we can control. We've got a squad full of good depth, and it's next man up sort of mentality. And would be good to string a few games together with our starting team and our full strength team. But it is what it is at the moment, and we've just got to work on our discipline and get that right, and hopefully we can start stringing them games together. All good, mate.
Aidan,
hey, bro.
Talking about your partnership with Kade Cust, and then of course obviously Will Price has come across during the season. You've had Will, you've had Logan Moy, you've had Jordan Rapiner at full-back. How much is that disrupting things when a spine position like that is changing like that as often as it is?
Yeah, I think we do a lot of repetition at training, so it's not really a disruption. It's just more, you can't replicate a game, and so the more you can get games and get games under your belt as a spine, as a collective spine, and probably a spine that's consistent throughout the weeks. It's you can't replicate it what you do at training. So Yeah, we get reps out at training, but the more we can have our I guess our full strength team, the more it's going to help us get results. So yeah.
And obviously, it's been a frustrating result last time out against Huddersfield. How much does that make you want to get out on the fit pitch again as quickly as possible? And how much more should people expect from a team that's had that festering in the background for 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's obviously not ideal. You want to get back on the field obviously a week later, but yeah, we've had time to debrief and I guess address what we need to improve on, and we've done that, and it's about looking forward to Leeds now and I guess rectifying the way we went wrong.
And obviously there's yourself, there's Zach Hardaker, there's Tom Briscoe, all going up against Leeds, former Leeds players. How does that make you feel personally when you're going up against a former club? Is there, how important is it to separate yourself, your personal agenda, from what the team are trying to achieve?
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy, mate. We're going there to get a result, and that's all that matters. Obviously you spoke about the players that have been there in the past, but it's not something you think about. You might think about it when you turn up to Headingley on Friday and you've played there before as a Rhinos player, but it's not something you think about during the week. It's about getting your prep right, training as well as you can as a squad, and laying the bricks for a good performance on Friday.
And people like yourself and John Rapana have obviously, you'll know what it's like to play against a Brad Arthur team. How is it different? What do you have to do to go out and beat a Brad Arthur team? What are the qualities that you are looking for from yourself and from the players around you?
Yeah, he's obviously a great coach. He's got loads of experience, and you can see Leeds, the way they're playing this year. They're playing tough. They're playing high completions. Guys, high work rate in defence, and it's going to be hard to break them down. But it's about us, worrying about it, what we can control, and that's holding the footy, playing high completions, and being disciplined, in defence. And we got the belief in our squad we can get a result, and hopefully we can do that Friday.
And I've asked Kade about this, so I'm going to ask yourself as the captain. Obviously, there's an England against Australia Ashes series at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is there any emphasis on that for the English lads? Are there any English lads in this squad that you think England need to be looking at and thinking, well, yeah, he's one who's got to be in with a shout for a cap there?
Yeah, hopefully all of them. But it's probably not something anyone's spoken about. It's about doing what's best for this club and performing as well as you can for this club, and them sort of honours will come if you're doing what's right in your own club. So as I said, we've got a lot of English boys. They'll obviously be striving for them honours in the future, but they're just week at a time mentality and get results for Hull.